Breaking: We will find you. US orders Nigerian under international students with cancelled visas to leave. Hey, now wow, Trump is really serious about all this thing that he's doing now. So if your visa has been cancelled and you are still there, probably an international, imagine people that are already in like year 1, year 2, or probably final year, and their visa got cancelled. So they have to leave. Why can't they just help them to do something? I don't understand. These people probably sold their property and everything to come and study in US, and now you want to cancel their visas. Abi you have already cancelled it and you are telling them to leave. Omo, no be small thing o. Hundreds of international students are being forced to leave the United States after the Trump administration began aggressively revoking student visas. Do not attempt to remain in the United States. Hey, wow. Now, wow. The federal government will find you. Read an email reportedly from the Department of Homeland Security shared by immigration lawyer Nicole Micheroni, with some students reportedly arrested without prior notice. Many students said they were not given a clear reason. Now, wow. Some of the students targeted were never protesters and or charged with a crime, said lawyer Dustin Baxter, who is suing the government on behalf of more than 100 affected students. Not only would they revoke the person's student visa, even if there was no conviction, if there was just an arrest, and sometimes there wasn't even an arrest, there was just an encounter and maybe a ticket. Can you imagine? Or maybe a ticket. They would revoke the student visa, Baxter said, as quoted by CNN. Some foreign students say the first notice they received about their visa revocation was not from ICE, but their school. Meanwhile, many universities got no formal notice of their students' visa revocation and found out only by seeing a student's name in government records. School officials say after 4 students and 2 recent graduates of Stanford University in California had their student visa rescinded, the university learned of the revocation during a routine check of the service data, it said in a statement on April 4. That marks a major change from the way that system historically has been used up, an immigration attorney told CNN. Up until Trump took office. Now Trump. It was really up to the designated school officers to initiate that revocation in service, said Jeff Joseph, president-elect of the American Immigration Lawyers Association. What we are seeing now is that ICE is doing it themselves. In one widely circulated case, Tufts University doctoral student Umeisa Ostok was handcuffed by agents days after her visa was revoked without notice. She shrieked in fear and confusion, according to surveillance footage cited in court. Secretary of State Marco Rubio confirmed visa cancellations under a clause that targets individuals whose presence poses serious foreign policy consequences. How does their presence pose a serious foreign policy consequences? I don't understand how. The State Department has stated it has broad authority to revoke visa at any time. And one that monitoring continues even after insurance. We continuously check visa holders and we will revoke their visas and deport them if they don't follow the rules. Now, wow. Now, Riwa, no be small thing. It is well. Jimoh Abdurrahim says, send them all home, especially politician children who refuse to put our own high institutions to international level. Come home and attend the university with us. And if they can send the politicians' children home, that one is okay. That one is okay, because really, we need to work to make this country better. We need to make these people accountable. We cannot keep going through this. Imagine people that have spent all their money trying to save to go and study in the US, and now all of this is happening. It is really bad, but it's just a wake-up call. If these people are really going to wake up, and I hope that they send politicians' children to outside, like send everybody back. Let them, all of us be equal. And I hope that other countries emulate it, because if US sends them away, they can send their children to another place outside the country still. So every other country needs to emulate what Trump is doing and make sure that all these our leaders that we have in this country, their children does not have any opportunity to study abroad. They should also be here with us in Nigeria. Don Rubio says Nigerians should go back to their destroyed and collapsed country. I'd rather drop land in Burkina Faso than return to Nigeria, a country that has decayed to the bone. Okay. Emmanuel Neal says this is great news from the US government. I ask these questions over and over again. Can we encourage our children to school in Africa and get the best? Also develop Nigerian African school, colleges and universities to global standard. Abi? Why abroad schooling? Thanks to President Trump leadership, let them come home and develop Nigeria and Africa. Well, most of these politicians now, if they leave US, they can go to UK, they can go to Finland, there are so many other countries that they can go to if US decides to pursue them. So we really need to make sure that all other countries are emulating what Donald Trump is trying to say, what Donald Trump is trying to do. So that all of them would not have a choice but to fix the country. Adamu Saidu says, no, Senator Natasha has better case than Akpabio. Many give useful advices. Why are you talking about Natasha inside this comment section? Alan Biboye says, very soon her 4 years will complete and get out of that office. Is it because to come and cause enemies between USA and other countries? That is why you are there. Trump doesn't know what is wrong with him. When those students have paid and follow the normal procedure, please, what of the money they have paid? And that's always the issue, because they're not going to get a refund. They are not going to get a refund, and it's not nice. Even people that are in Nigeria that get their visa cancelled or they don't give them admission and all of that, but they've already paid money, they don't use to refund their money. It's not nice. At least you return probably like 70% or 80% of their money. You just keep people stranded back to square one. It is well. Obasibasi says Trump has to refund them. Maybe they should talk about him refunding, because these people have spent money. Some parents sold their property to send their children to that US to go and study. So it's really going to tell on them. It is well. Innocent Usman says, good. May God's judgment move President Trump to revoke the visas of the children of corrupt African leaders who have looted their nations and made life hard for people instead of developing their own countries. I really do hope that it affects their children. And I really hope it affects their children and they don't have the opportunity to send their children to other places because they can. They can do that. Joshua Fodoninsho says, leave his country for him. US is not heaven, Abi. US is not heaven. Let us also make our country heaven on earth. So that we can be revoking their visas and say, no, you cannot come into our country. Let us do that. I hope our leaders are really watching and are ready to do the needful. My listeners, over to leave your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for listening. See you some other time. Bye.